Happy Friday to you. For those of you who observe the pagan holiday Friday, I suppose, still happy Friday to you. You made it. Wow. It's been a while. I haven't been very consistent with my live streams lately because I have been lifing. And by lifing, I mean, and of course, if you miss this random live stream, you are welcome to catch it on the replay. I usually just go on, talk about whatever I want to. I don't really plan my live streams. So, again, hit the live streams tab and you can catch this on the replay. The world is crazy, y'all. The world is crazy. It's interesting. I thought by now that Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony thing would be just like 2 weeks ago's news, I would suppose. Um, but here it is. It's still being perpetuated by conservative media, liberal media. The internet is really taken by storm by this situation. I did two videos discussing it, and this was kind of when the situation was relatively new. And I've been, like I said, I've been lifing, I've been checking into different things, and it was just like, wow, people are still talking about this. What's going on, Howard? I see you. How are you, my friend? I have been busy. I have been busy. I took a leap of career faith in myself and just decided that I was going to go ahead and start my studies for the CFP exam. And so, like, the next 8 months of my life is I'm going to be trash. Like, seriously, I'm not going to be a really good YouTuber, but I'll try to check in as much as I can. But you guys, this world is crazy. And I think it takes unfortunate situations like this to reveal the people that exist in American society. There's a lot of people who say that they're about God, faith, and family. And really, these people are about themselves and their own supremacy. And I'm not just talking about individuals who say that they are white. I mean, I am seeing supremacy come from all angles when it comes to that unfortunate situation. I'm seeing white supremacy. I'm seeing black supremacy. I'm seeing white ignorance. I'm seeing black ignorance. I mean, it's just never ending with these imperfect humans on this earth that will be destroyed by the Most High. But, it's interesting because I see faith coming into the equation both ways, right? You hear people on the Metcalf team Metcalf, if you will, right? They're talking about faith and God fearing and all this stuff, blah, 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 but they running around judging folks, running around with just satanic rooted hate because supremacy is rooted in Satanism. But then I see people who are just unreasonable. Just unreasonable. You can't take things for what they are. And I think that is if Austin Metcalf would have got stabbed by another white kid, we wouldn't even hear about this, right? We wouldn't even know about this. Nobody would be talking about it today. Seriously. If Austin Metcalf was stabbed by another white kid, it just would have been a tragedy. Unfortunate. We got to get these kids some self-control and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But because this is a situation where you have a black young man stabbing another young man who happened to be white, now we have all these race and buck dancers of all political spectrums on the mic, right? And they're really there. They're psyops to me because the rhetoric isn't about understanding and trying to figure out kind of the real facts of the case. I mean, it's all of this commentary seems to be heavily rooted in racism or people's perceived feeling of being racially attacked. You know what I mean? And I said it in 2020 that, when they talk about black victimhood, right? The Democrats did a great job of victimizing white people during that stretch of the Biden administration. I mean, you look at all of the major Democratic machines, right? They were actually paying black people to get on the mic and just say sensational, irrational things about overall white individuals in American society. They were generalized as hell. White men are threats. White men are this, white men are that. And, and that was paid, right? So this race division stuff, it gets brewed in very slick ways, but then it takes a situation like this to really bring the races out to play. And boy, have they been coming out to play. And so in my other videos, I listen to the Metcalf family and listen to their takes. And I'm be honest with you, all that press running that the Metcalf family did, I think that if you could really analyze a lot of the videos and the interviews that they did, I mean, some of that I would not have had Hunter say not a motherfucking thing, because I went back and I listened to one of those videos, one of the initial videos that Hunter and his mom did. And that particular interview right there is going to be pretty damning. It's also going to be pretty damning that during their press runs, right, the Metcalf family continued to change the story. Hunter changed his story. So as much as it does not look well for Carmelo Anthony in terms of him, he's gonna suffer the recourse of his actions. He will. He will, because again, I don't care if the kid is black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian, right? I am a believer in equal lesser force. I'm a believer in being able to neutralize yourself from a situation before things get to escalated levels. I believe that unfortunately that young man, no matter if he was raised by good parents, when I listen to mom talking, and I look at his family was more structured than Austin Metcalf's. I mean, every single stereotype that white media wanted to narrate as being Carmelo Anthony, it was actually Austin Metcalf. And, when you look at the father, he's superimposing on these people's press conference, right? He claims he just wanted to hear what they had to say, but this is a very hyper racial situation, number one. It's a very polarizing situation. And I mean, I'm just still trying to figure out what he thought he was going to gain from being there at the press conference versus watching it on the news, like Carmelo's family watched all them interviews that him and his family did. I'm looking at Austin's dad, and like I said, these kids are a reflection of the parents. And I do believe that, unfortunately, he raised some hotheads. And I do still believe in that. In my first assessment, unfortunately, Austin fucked around and found out, right? You cannot go around putting your hands on people. And as much as people want to talk about what he shouldn't have been under the tent, Austin had no motherfucking authority under that tent. He had no authority at that place. He had no authority over the Memorial High School tent. And if you actually do listen to people who played sports, competitive sports in high school, what Carmelo Anthony did was not out of the ordinary. When there was, like, you can ask anybody who played high school sports and they will say, yeah, we used to be under each other's tents all the time. If it was raining, yeah, we just ran. People were just running for shelter, right? They weren't really thinking about, oh, this is a competitor's tent, right? Because in the game of friendly competition, a lot of times that stuff really don't matter in high schools. And even you'll hear students say, well, some of my friends were on the competing team. I was actually competing against friends of mine that went to another school. So I mean, white conservatives, obviously they need themselves on some higher moral compass, right? And again, if this was a white kid stabbing Austin, we wouldn't even hear about it. They wouldn't even care about it. It wouldn't be the travesty that a lot of these people are making it out to be, to the degree that it is right now, right? But because this was a black kid, flexing on a white kid who was flexing on him, right? We're still talking about this, right? But I had an opportunity to listen to the mom, and I did share some of the interview with the Metcalf family. And so I wanted to also do the same for the Anthony family. And I love that she was bold enough to clear the air about a lot of these lies and these rumors, and just some of these character assassinations of her family. So, what you saying, Miss Anthony? Very beautiful young woman.
My name is Kayla Hayes.
Very beautiful black couple.
I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony.
I mean, the dad, the mom, they're a beautiful black couple. This is very
North Texas,
unfortunate.
Searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're the best financial, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about.
So this is interesting. Like I said, situations like this, it really do bring out the diseases in America. Those filthy, disgusting, supremacist type people, those mob type of people. And I'm not just talking about the conservatives, it's the Democrats too. They have these mob mentalities, these lynch mentalities, where you are guilty in the court of public opinion, which is not to be conflated with the court of law. So this is the same thing that the Democrats did to the Central Park Five. The media, their media, this is exactly what they did to the Central Park Five. People want to talk about this little ad that Donald Trump put out about the Central Park Five, but it's like, let's talk about all the information that the media was putting out about the Central Park Five that demonized those guys. And it wasn't just conservative media that was doing that, it was the liberal media, because despite what many people want to think, liberals in New York are some of the most racist mothers in this country. They are the lioness ass people when it comes to their racism. They are racist as hell, some of them white liberals in New York. But off that,
the lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community.
It kind of sucked to see like the trailer bumpkin white people talking about this family. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, a lot of these people are so freaking stupid that they have to exist feeling like that. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna have to cut this short, you guys. I forgot my engagement. But anyways, let's hear you, Carmelo's mama.
Our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff.
So everybody getting threatened up in here. I didn't want to make this a long live stream, you guys, but all I can say is that things like this brings out the racists in America. We've seen who the racists are in America. I pray for both families. And, all I can say is let the legal process play out. And whether you're black or white, don't be taking sides because somebody is black or white. Really go for the truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye. Okay, I'm leaving it. Alrighty, here